all of this meeting officially open, I would like to mention some ground rules which we follow in the Toastmaster meeting. Please, we refrain ourselves from just refrain yourself from talking about sex, religion, politics. So please refrain from discussing these topics. Put yourself on mute if you're not speaking, and please turn off your video if you're stepping out of the meeting room. As everybody in life has a mission to achieve their goals, likewise, our Toastmaster Club also has a mission. The mission of our club is to provide a supportive and a very positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop the communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. With this, I announce this meeting as officially, opening this meeting and handing it over to our TMO of the day, TMO Mr. Mayank. Over to you, Toastmaster Mayank.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vidhu. But before I take over the stage, let me hand over the stage to the presiding officer of today's meeting, our president, Toastmaster Neetal. So, Toastmaster Neetal, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mank, and thank you, Toastmaster Vidhu. So today we are joining for having a 198th meeting of Bright Beginnings Club. I have been associated with the club for past 1.5 years now, and I'll be completing my 2 years with this club soon. And it was a great journey. And we are definitely looking forward to celebrate our 200th meeting in a grand way. And we will be having a planning to do that. And we had a lot of holidays in this month compared to what will come up in next months. So I hope everyone enjoyed their long holidays. And as we have guest in our group today, Kavita Singh, I would like Kavita to introduce herself and let us know about her expectations from today's meeting.
I'm not sure about expectation, but let me start with my introduction. Working as a senior product designer.
Switch on your camera, it would be great.
Not a really good environment to share turn on video. Sorry for that.
No worries. No problem.
I'm working as a senior UX designer in Grey Orange. Grey Orange is basically dealing with warehouse automation. So I'm working on tools, basically SaaS tools. So my motivation here is to understand how AI can help designers coming forward.
Okay. Thank you, Kavita, for that. And you're located from? You're based out of?
I'm located in Gurgaon.
Okay, great. We have one more guest. I can see Ravindra. So hi, Ravindra. Drop out. Okay, fine. We'll start the meeting for today, and I'll hand over the stage for our team mod of the day, Toastmaster Mank. So Toastmaster Mank, over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Neetal. Okay. So, before we start a meeting, and for the benefit of our to-be Toastmaster Kavita, let me give a background of how a typical meeting runs. A typical Toastmaster meeting is split into 3 parts. In part 1, we have the prepared speech section, where we will have Toastmaster Neetal and Toastmaster Anshuman delivering a speech which they have prepared. It's going to be between 5 to 7 minutes. Followed by that, we will have instant or table topic session where we'll have impromptu speaking. You will be given a topic to speak on from 1 minute to 2.5 minutes. And the third section is going to be the evaluation section where we will have Toastmaster Anshuman giving an evaluation of the meeting today that we are conducting. Along with that, we will have, and he'll be supported by Toastmaster Vidhu and me in the speech evaluation section. And to overall conduct the meeting, it'll be my role and responsibility to drive a meeting and hand over the roles to us. Now, the topic for today's meeting, my dear fellow Toastmasters, is selflessness. So when you hear the word selflessness, what comes to your mind? And we're going to have a very, very discussion-based meeting. It's not going to be a mono dialogue. Okay, so please raise your hand and talk about it. So when you hear the word selflessness, what are the 2 things that comes to your mind? Toastmaster Neetal. since you're unmuted.
Yeah. So selflessness, I feel more of like self-caring. Think about yourself first than thinking about anyone else. And when you can take care about yourself, take care about you, you can take care about others as well.
Okay,
So
so
the first
self.
priority is, yeah,
So you're talking about self,
yes.
taking self. Okay, okay. Toastmaster Anshuman.
The word selflessness may refer to sacrificing your own priorities and focusing on priorities of your near dear ones or the ones who are requesting for any favor from your side.
Okay, sure. Toastmaster Vidhu, would you like to add something?
So for me, selflessness means doing something without having without thinking about the return of that activity which you are doing for others. So selflessness is without any conditions when you are doing something for others.
Without condition or to others.
Without conditions, basically without expecting any outcome or anything for your own self when you're doing something for the others. So that's selflessness.
Okay. Is it like a job these days where you're working and
No,
you're not
never.
expecting a return?
Job is always a two-way story, right? We do something, we get salary out of it. So selflessness is basically when you do something without expecting anything from the other person is selflessness.
Okay. So Ravinder, we are talking about something called selflessness. So when you hear selflessness, what comes to your mind?
Selflessness, what I feel is about, not thinking of your personal interest and doing something for a cause. Maybe not something that benefits you in personal, but maybe as a society to other person. That's what I feel about selflessness.
Okay, great. Thank you so much all for your inputs. Now let me ask you a question. Can you talk about an instance where you have demonstrated selflessness? Toastmaster Neetal.
Okay, so what is the meaning we took actually? It's taking care of about others or taking care about yourself.
There is no one meaning for anything.
Okay, fine. So yesterday I have gone to watch Maidan movie. So the main character Ajay Devgan, he was going on smoking in the first half of the movie. It was I did not watch the trailer. I did not know anything about the coach. I had never heard about India winning the football. So I went
Mhm.
without any expectations. So when he was going on smoking in the first half, it is well understood that he is going to suffer with some disease. So it was like he was not prioritizing his health at all, and he was giving a priority to his team, and he was not taking care of his family, neither he was taking care of himself. So where he missed orders, he could have lived and could have been more successful if he would have controlled his own habits of smoking. So that was the thoughts that were coming. And even at home also, I keep telling to my dads, my parents, especially my dad. He has a diabetes, but he keep having sugar a lot. So it's like if you're not taking care, your kids only will take you to the hospital. They can't ensure that your suffering is gone. So taking priority about yourself is more important.
Okay. So Vidhu, why don't you explain me about a concept where you demonstrated selflessness?
So I think this entire concept of philanthropy, right, which you might have seen a lot of leaders, right, that they are philanthropists these days, which means that they donate or they have a huge set of their investment, going back to the society
Mhm.
because it's a circle, right? It's a vicious circle where we give, then we get, right? So lately I have also started in believing that part of your income should be go back to the society, not in the form of an income, I would say. What I do is every year on my daughter's birthday we have this I would say a custom that we donate all of her clothes, whatever, I mean, by her, through her hands only, to all the needy people. There are children who are even, there are some slums who are living opposite my house. And strangely, while I got the portfolio report of my daughter in the PTM last year, her class teacher has specifically mentioned that she donate her clothes every year, which means that, whatever I'm doing it with her, like in terms of donating it back to the society, she's also I mean, she's also taking that message and cascading the same to, her classmates and all. So we don't realize that how, our small acts create the environment of entire philanthropy. So that's how I have been doing. And back to you, Toastmaster Mayank.
Sure. Toastmaster Anshuman, I'll request you to shift to a gallery view for today's meeting and not to a speaker view, because ultimately I'll be the one who's be coming on screen while Toastmaster will be speaking. So people will assume that why do I have such a feminist voice? All right. So Toastmaster Ravinder, why don't you talk to us about an event where you've been done a selflessness activity?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like I can justify that as a selflessness activity, but I mean, I'm in a corporate world, so I'll just talk about in that terms. So I got a chance to lead a team here in my company, and uh, the thing that I've seen with leaders and managers, and not to be bad about them, but the general trend is like they think about themselves and maybe the higher management and the leadership. So they do all the acts based on that. For example, like they don't care whether they are putting more pressure on the people in the team or not. They just get certain target just to showcase on the top like I can achieve it. So they put pressure on the team without caring like whether they are learning or not, it is too much for them, or they don't go back to the leadership and say like this is something achievable or not achievable. They just think like if I do it, probably I'll get some raise or maybe praise. So they don't
Mm-hmm.
care about people, I mean their team or their team members. That's what I saw. But for me, it was a little bit opposite. I mean, I always resisted my higher management in terms of whenever I felt like, okay, it is too much for the team and this could not be achieved. So I was the one who was advocating. Uh, how it went was like definitely it benefit my team and they got chance to definitely. I mean, they were uh, willing to contribute whenever I needed, even over the weekend. So if I ask like, okay, I need one member for the weekend, maybe all 6 members would say like we are all are available. So those kind of support I got from the team. So I definitely got something back from them. They got chance to learn, they grew. But at the end, what happened? Maybe I was moved out of that position because maybe it was not meeting the leadership objective or a company's maybe goal. So that's where I felt maybe like, I mean, I knew that in between, like it is something could happen, but I didn't went back into the usual approach of other leaders, like putting pressure on the team and then, I mean, being selfish and think about myself. So
Got
I
it.
kept on working that way, and I thought like I gave something back to the team, and even though I'm not in the team, I get most of the support in the team from those people only. So whenever, even though they are part of other team, whenever I go to I work usually on remote, but whenever I go, they all come to office and we all go out and meet. So it's like
Got it.
I
Got it. Oh, got
uh,
it. Got it. Got it. Got it. So
established
perfect.
personal relationship rather than the professional. So, but yeah, it cost me something, but I didn't move from the perspective that I had.
Yeah, perfect. Well, it's perfectly fine if you want to switch on your camera in the meantime. Yeah.
I mean,
On
this is
the
my first meeting, so I'm not sure like how it goes.
no,
What it's all
just
about.
any view. It's okay. Any view is okay.
Okay.
If
Ravinder,
you're on
you
the beach,
already
if you're
sound
on the
like
beach,
Toastmaster. So
I'm not in the beach, but I was at the noisy place earlier, so I dropped off from my mobile and I came to a corner of my house.
that's perfectly fine. Great. So Toastmaster Anshuman, what do you think attributes or adds to selflessness?
joining Toastmaster meeting at Saturday morning,
Bingo.
opening the Zoom meeting.
Then that I did.
I think that's the most selfless activity I do ever. I can't think of a better example.
Absolutely, I so agree with you. And finally, I will say the bingo answer from a legendary Toastmaster. All right, so actually, the selfness is a mere act of putting others' needs before our own, whether it's across cultures, religions, generations. It's about compassion, empathy, and willingness to serve without expecting anything in return. For example, when Toastmaster Vidhu, when you were talking about, I thought you would say raising up a child, right? No matter what you do to a child, at the end they are never grateful when they grow up, for a certain period of time. And that was an answer I was expecting from you. And right now, Nitil and Anshuman don't qualify for it at the moment. I don't know about Ravinder at the moment. So it's that activity. For example, let's say as Toastmaster Anshuman picked up about selflessness, joining a Saturday morning Toastmaster club, we keep joining and want to pass on that legacy and understanding and skill to people who want to enhance and hone their skills. Am I gaining anything directly from this? No. Are we gaining anything directly? No. But it is that small step of passing it on the legacy, sharing our experience with the ones who are in need of it and who aspire to enhance their skills. I think that's a key message or talk. And that's why before I thought of, talking about information and clouding your minds, I wanted to hear that what is your understanding on this topic. So we have another person, Sumit. Hello, Sumit. How are you? Can you introduce yourself to us so that we can hear you and see you? Okay, Sumit is not willing to let us hear and see him. So, okay. So now, before we move on to the next section, let's move to the next session, which is the prepared speech section. Who's the timer for the day? The timer, please raise your hand. Okay,
The
Anshuman is
general
this
evaluator.
some timer. Okay.
Uh,
So
I'll
let
time
me
him.
be whose timer?
I'll time him.
Okay. You both will swap each other. Perfect. Okay. So Toastmaster Neetal is going to be delivering a speech, and I let Toastmaster Neetal's evaluator, which is me, Mike Agarwal, talk about it. So
We'll go
Toastmaster.
for Anshuman first, then we'll take mine.
Okay. Double trouble. So Toastmaster Anshuman is going to be delivering a speech tomorrow at the division conference, and today is going to be his rehearsal speech, which is going to be full of action, drama, emotions, voice modulations, pace, and I don't know what else he's going to present. So I'll let me pass on the stage to Toastmaster Anshuman's evaluator, Toastmaster Vidhu. Over to you, Toastmaster Vidhu.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mayank. So I will be evaluating Anshuman's speech. The speech title is Follow Your Curiosity. So over to you, Toastmaster Anshuman. Follow your curiosity. And I have an evaluation sheet which Mayank has shared with me, on which has all the criterias which usually generally judges in the speech contest consider. So I will be evaluating and will be noting down my points, leveraging that particular sheet, and will be sharing the report towards the end of the meeting. Over to you, Toastmaster Anshuman.
Folks, I am in this room not because of Google Maps. I'm here because I followed my curiosity. Let me tell you how. Once upon a time, a small boy, barely a teenager, was cramming through all the chemical equations that he could fathom. Not to become a scientist, he wanted to become a doctor. Only because his parents had asked him to. But he used to reflect, do I really want to become a doctor? And the answer always used to come, no. And then he used to wonder, what should exactly I pursue in life? Folks, I've always been a curious person. I used to buy toys from toy store just to break them apart and then reassemble them, just to understand what is the workings behind those toys. And this trait of mine was not leading me to a career of my choice. But one day, I saw an advertisement in Times of India. English honors entrance examination in Ramjas College, Delhi University. My eyes sparkled. English honors. That is where I want to be. I decided to talk to my parents that I really want to do English honors and switch from science to English. And as you may imagine, pursuing arts after science in India is a crime. But I wanted to pursue that crime. Papa, I want to pursue English honors. Okay, beta, go ahead. Papa, I know what you must be thinking, that if I take up arts, I'll be lying right across the road in a in my in my undergarments, not doing anything in life. That is true, beta. I can only visualize that. Papa, but please don't worry. I have my plan sorted out. I'm going to become an IAS officer. People are going to respect me. They're going to see me traveling all across in the car with a red light, and I'm going to solve all the nation's problems. Beta, first of all, solve your own problems, then solve the nation's problems. As you can imagine, it did not go according to the plan. But as things will have it, my mom, who was very empathetic to my need, pursued my father to have me let me be part of the English honors community. But the first day I entered into the classroom, my professor asked me, Anshuman, what is your favorite genre? Genre. I've heard that word, and I think I'm in the long class for the next 3 years. That is how my English honor journey ended right then and there. But I had one value which had led me to here, which I felt will take me to there too, which is curiosity. I went outside, saw the board, and saw the opening for the placement cell and the quiz society. I joined them and received the best male student award at the end of my course. Not because I got third division in English honors, but I pursued a lot of interest outside classroom. As you may understand, these pursuits do not lead to success in life. I did not get any job, and as my father would have imagined, I was right outside on the footpath doing nothing. And in that situation, I again followed my curiosity. I got 4 jobs back to back, not sticking to any of them because I did not like them, and eventually landed upon MBA. I realize it is business where I want to be. And in this journey from science to arts to commerce, I was able to talk to diverse personality types, relate to many people, and be part of a community which was accepting me as a business person. And eventually, now I am in the world's best company, not because I pursued a traditional path, only because I pursued a diverse path. Some folks may consider that my life is a journey of missteps. It's a journey that should not have been taken. But when I reflect, it's a journey where I pursued my value system, where I was just following my curiosity. And I was just intrigued where it's going to lead me. And today, I feel I am much more confident than a lot of folks around because I pursued a path which was close to my heart. And my intent for all of us today is once you step out of this room, think about it, feel about it, and genuinely pursue your curiosity and see where it leads you to. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anshuman. It was uh, great to hear the change in your speech. I can really feel the difference. And I'll give you a detailed feedback later on after this meeting ends. All right, so now let's hear from Toastmaster Neetal. So, Toastmaster Neetal, are you trying something different today? Format?
Yes, so yeah, so it will be an interview where it's like in my level 3, uh, there is a practice interview practice. So my Anshuman will be conducting the interview and I'll try to give the answer based on my experience.
Okay,
So it will be a
and
different thing that we are trying it out.
great.
I'm looking
And
out for jobs, so I thought it's a better opportunity to prepare and expose myself in front of the club to see where I stand.
lovely, you not only to the club, you are online, right? So your potential employer might also be seeing you there. All right, so Toastmaster and Shuman, would you want to take a lead now? Is there a
Definitely,
interview
Toastmaster.
theme or something?
Yes. All right. Let me quickly spotlight the both of us.
Yep.
All right.
So the evaluation, Mank, you can do based on like a good feedback. That would be welcome. So this will be 5 to 7 minutes. You can time it. Yep.
All right. Good morning, Miss Neetal. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Anshuman?
Good, good. So I hope you face no problem reaching here to this location.
Yeah, the location I tracked followed the Google Maps and I could reach out easily. I had no issues coming up at the office.
So can you tell me a little about yourself?
So I'm Neetal Jain. I'm based out of Hyderabad, born and brought up in Hyderabad. I have done and my entire education in Hyderabad. I'm a qualified chartered accountant and a qualified company secretary. I started my journey with internship with a chartered accountancy firm based out of Hyderabad. After 3 years of rigorous internship, I got an opportunity to work with Tech Mahindra. So I worked with Tech Mahindra on different projects for almost 4 years, where I have learned about Oracle financials, Oracle projects. And then I took up the opportunity to work with Oracle India. At Oracle India, I have spent almost 6 years, where I was joined as a senior analyst, later on promoted in 1 year to principal consultant for the work that I have done for a client Worley. They had a lot of failures during their upgrades. And the third time when we did, we got a huge success. And it was a successful go live. So after spending 6 years learning about projects portfolio management, risk management, and other nits and bits of Oracle financials, I have moved on to Deloitte India. So now currently I'm with Deloitte India, working here from last 2.5 years. I have been associated into multiple projects. Here, my main role has been solution architect. I have worked with 3 clients so far, and all were successful implementations. So this is my journey so far. Thank you.
Well, Neetal, Deloitte is such a great company. You're already doing such a great job in just been 2.5 years. So why do you want to switch to our company?
So when I read about the job opportunity at your company, it excited me. I found that it would be a challenging role, taking up the next designation in my role career, and as well as taking as a overall project management role rather than a track lead. So I'm looking for a bigger role, and your job opportunity, the job description specifies that. And I feel I'm qualified to take up the big next role in my career, and I'm looking forward for it.
All right. So you've given me hints about your strengths. What about your weaknesses? What are your top weaknesses?
So I can, as I'm working as a lead consultant and a solution architect, and most of my roles have been taking up directly with the client and working end to end on the solution and implementation. So I feel not working with an entire team, I might have a weakness of delegation. So I was not part of a bigger, I am a part of bigger team, but not part of the team where people are working under me. So I can think that it might be a weakness that I may not be able to delegate, as I have the habit of owning the entire end-to-end part and resolving the issues or implementing the project. So I can say
Most
that part.
people, our job involves a big team and it will require delegation here and there.
Yeah, so I'm
How do
working
you
on it.
how do you plan to manage it? Please let me
Yes.
complete.
Yeah, sorry. So yes, so I have been working on that. So I'm doing a course on PMP as well, where the project management has been taught. And also I have taken up some other certification courses which helps in delegation. So I have now the project that I'm currently working on, I'm working as a project lead. So this just started. So I'm facing a little bit issues, but I feel I can overcome it with the experience that I carry as a solution architect.
Thanks for sharing. Can you share one of the best projects you've ever done? What are the strengths you displayed in? What are your highlights?
So the last project that I have worked, it was with Australia. The project name was Tabcorp. So they have demerged into two entities, Tabcorp and TLC. So I was a solution architect for Tabcorp. So the first challenge was getting up early in the morning at 6 a.m. and logging in. And I made sure I'm never logged in late. So though I'm working from India, I made sure my client felt comfortable at their time. And the accent with Australian client was a bit challenging in the beginning, but then I got used to it. And we have worked, and there was a challenge of an migration from an EBS to Fusion. So that proved a challenging, as we have to collect all the data from the legacy application and migrate it to the Fusion. But we have worked together with the client and with the other team members, the data migration team, and we were able to successfully implement the project costing and the integrations with the financial modules. So that was my latest successful implementation that I have just completed.
Got it. So where do you see yourself in 5 years?
So as I'm working for a big four, I'm looking forward to become a partner in next 5 years. So I'm right now at the position of manager. So there are two more levels that I have to cross before I get into a partnership. So as this is also the big four that I am applying now, I'm looking for the next designation that the role is offering, and I would like to see myself as a partner in a big four.
All right. Um, just to close off the interview, to Neetal, how do you deal with stressful situations?
So I try to remain calm, compose myself, and take guidance if required from someone if I'm not able to deal with the situation on my own. Talk to my directors or the partners in the firm to understand if any of the difficult situation has something new that has come up, that is something which I have not dealt before. But I make ensure that my client is relaxed and have confidence on me. So I never expose myself to the client, or my excitement or my stressfulness situation to the client, but I deal it offline and discuss with my seniors if required.
All right. Thanks a lot, Neetal. We'll let you know of the next steps.
Thank you, Anshuman.
Over to you, Toastmaster Mayank.
Oh, it was quite a stressful event listening to an interview, and I was just making sure things that I should not do when I am giving an interview ever.
Even I want to know what I should not be doing in the interview, so I'll wait for your feedback.
Definitely, patience is worth it. And now, in today's meeting, I would like to now move on to the second section, which is the table topic section. But since we are in an active discussion, so let's shelf that area. Do we have a table topic master otherwise designated for today?
I don't think so. You can
Perfect.
conduct me anyways.
All right, perfect. So let's connect on, move on to
We can
the
listen from Toastmaster Vidhu, right? It's been a while we've listened from Toastmaster Vidhu. So maybe all of us can give a topic to Toastmaster Vidhu
That's a good
as a
idea.
penalty for not joining in between and not reimbursing a lot of lot of parties.
All right, we'll take that
Do
offline.
you want
So,
to practice today, or you're like, if you want to
I'm
practice?
yeah, we can go ahead with couple of
Yeah, let's
topics.
let's go for like one topic each, right?
Yeah.
Maybe we can do round table. I can give to Vidhu to Neetal to Mayank. Does that work?
Yeah. Yeah.
so let me extend the topic only and take up uh, items for and I'll focus more on Toastmaster Vidhu speaking out.
So you are
Go
the
ahead.
table topic master, is it? Those my Mayank.
Yeah, so I'm continuing as a team mode come table topic master and
Sounds
take it as a discussion mode only. Yeah.
cool.
Okay. So as you know, getting back to the self-analysis topic that we were talking about earlier. So one of the element that came in was somebody mentioned was charity or philanthropy, but that's generally more of money that we look at millionaires and billionaires talking. So Toastmaster Vidhu, talk to us about a charity or volunteering activity that you've done in the past, and how did you think the society benefited at a larger scale?
Thank you,
Toastmaster Vidhu,
Toastmaster.
Toastmaster Vidhu, talk to us about a philanthropy or a charity activity you did and how you think the society benefited from it.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mayank. I feel myself fortunate that I have done few of those activities with my grandfather. So my grandfather has this habit of he has sort of adopted a village wherein he, along with four doctors from different domains, join and go to that specific village every Sunday morning, and they give a free consultation to all the villagers there. So I have been part of those visits with along with him. And very recently also I have been supporting one of the National Blind Institute, where I go and I support the people who are blind and help them in writing the examination for them. So I have been a part of the National Blind Association as well, as one of my philanthropy activity. And there are a couple of more which I have started doing with my daughter because I have seen the impact of it. Just allow me. So there because I've seen in last year how our small actions, have helped her also feel that it is important and is an important element in our life. So I have recently started few of the initiatives along with her, like distributing the food on every birthday, giving clothes to the children and to the needy people. And I have also started supporting few children outside my home, where like there are a lot of birthdays which my daughter because she's now turned into KG, so she has been attending a lot of birthdays, and school children have been giving her a lot of stationery. So we have got this habit of instead of like opening all of those color boxes and having it so many at home, we have I've uh, helped her develop this entire habit of donating her colors instead of like opening every new box which has come into the home, because it eventually creates clutter at home. Also, it is not even useful to have so many, so it's just a waste of resources. So there are a lot of activities which I have started building on, and there's few which have taken from my grandfather and have been supporting my father now along the way. So over to you, Toastmaster Mayank.
Great, what a beautiful example of doctors going and doing at the villages on a Sunday morning, getting doctors and Sunday for some other activity other than alcohol is a pretty difficult task. Okay, and a very noble thought of getting a child donate colors and other allied items to children who are needy. So Toastmaster Neetal, talk about a situation that if you are a person who's what a person who's doing this activities can face and encounter, right? The challenges. So Toastmaster Neetal, talk about the challenges that a person who is in volunteering activities or selfless activities can encounter.
Thank you, Toastmaster Man. So I was part of one volunteer organization 5 years back where we used to go to orphanages. We used to do school programs, conduct annual days, and do school bag distribution, books, etc. So I was actively participating, and I felt the need to do it. But once I visited an orphanage where in 2 floors there were at least 100 to 150 kids, and it was so jam packed and it was stinking as the population was more and the space was so less. It was literally stinking. I could not bear the smell, and I felt, I mean, I could not continue the program. I had to really leave the building and stand out till the other volunteers were trying to finish it. The thoughts were very provoking. Why are these children being born and not being taken care? Why are these parents so ruthless about their own kids that they're leaving them to the orphanages, where the donations might be coming to the orphanages, but how they are being used, it's entirely a different story. And some people directly donate materials, so it might get useful, but the people who are donating money, it might not be directly useful to the kids. And we have seen so many cases about how the orphanages kids have been used, how the illegal activities they are being involved in. But I could not come up with a solution for that. But those thoughts were provoking me. They were provoking in my mind for a long time. Then I could not continue with the organization, as well as I felt I cannot sustain this activity. I cannot see this inhuman behavior from one person to the other, the parents leaving the kids on roads or in the orphanages. So I discontinued with the volunteer organization. Now I try to donate whenever I feel a person is in real need, or donate my clothes to the orphanages. I have a shared doorstep that's being running in Hyderabad. So whenever I feel that the clothes, though they're in only the clothes which are in good condition and people can use it, I book a pickup. They come and collect and they donate it to the NGO. And anyways, as a job professionals, we are paying 30% of our salary as tax. So that's a big donation we are doing. So more than that, I don't think I'll be able to contribute further in this volunteer things. But I feel my cousin was trying to do volunteership without completing his education. And I was telling him, first complete your education, reach to a level where you don't have to think about yourself and participate in that activity with selflessness. So those are my thoughts on this volunteer activities. Over to
Great,
you, Toastmaster Mike.
great. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Neeta, for sharing your thoughts on this topic. Well, actually, the challenge is that the world globally, you often see celebrating individualism and self-promotion, right? And it can be really challenging to prioritize the needs of others above your own. For example, attending this Toastmaster meeting every Saturday, right? People say you're prioritizing this over sleep or a movie time or somebody else coming in. I'm like, yeah, I have to go means I have to go. So as it like, am I earning anything out of it or any generation? No, it is my commitment to myself that I need to spend this time on my communication skills. I know I am lagging behind in my speech delivery, but but I will cover up that as well. So Toastmaster Anshuman, um, there are two large groups. Which one of them is sustainable? The Bill Gates way or the Tata way? Philanthropy, the Bill Gates way or the Tata way? Toastmaster Anshuman, philanthropy, the Bill Gates way or the Tata way?
Toastmaster Mayank, I believe philanthropy done by anyone and everyone in any means which is helpful and productive for the society is the right way to approach philanthropy. So it can be the Tata way or the Bill Gates way. Both have their merits and both may have their demerits. So the Bill Gates way is earn huge wealth and then contribute a percentage of that wealth to the society through activities and or through donation of wealth to the right mediums. And Bill Gates has been a big role model of this way, where he has been on the world's richest list, topping that list multiple times. And he took up the cause to engage the world's wealthiest people and help them contribute to different causes and to his foundation in particular. The other way is building a trust where there's no selfishness involved, where the Tata Trust has been a central point where the Tata Group and the associates of the Tata Group can collate their wealth and contribute to different causes of Indian and the global society. Through both the means, is the eventually beneficiary that is benefiting the most. And I believe even philanthropy pursued by Toastmaster Vidhu, Neetal, Mayank, and an Anshuman, through the huge wealth that Vidhu and Neetal have, and through the unlimited means which Mayank has, and through the limited means I may have, it will still benefit the eventual beneficiary at the end of the line. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Mayank.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anshuman. I feel that the difference between the Bill Gates way and the Tata way is Tata say we will give you a amount for your hard work. There is no free food, free lunch. Whereas Bill Gates and those associations charge money from everyone and then give money or distribute it to people who do not have means or willingness to do something and create a change in their life. So it's like you teach a man to fish, he eats every day. You give a man fish, he eats only one day. Okay, so that was a nice, interesting table topic, which was untimed, and I'm sure that each one of us really timed ourselves well while delivering this speech. With now, I move on to the section of the evaluation. So, for which I like to invite our general evaluator, Toastmaster Anshuman, to lead us on the evaluation section.
Thanks a lot, Usman Mang. You did not invite me at the beginning, so I unfortunately could not introduce my role, but better late than never. Starting with the evaluation section, I'd like to invite Toastmaster Vidhu to share evaluation from my speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Vidhu.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anshuman. Considering this is one of the very critical and important speeches for you. So I have been critically noting down everything that's important from a feedback standpoint, be it positives and negatives. So I'll start off with the overall speech development. This entire content was well structured. The time was 5 minutes 20 seconds, which has been taken. So I will in this evaluation I might differ from our normal way of our evaluation. So I will be covering each criteria along with it, what was positive, what was negative, and what could be done better. So one is your speech development. So the structure of the content was well organized. The time you have taken is 5 minutes 20 seconds. So I felt there is some scope of adding few more accomplishments towards the end of your speech, because that will ground your speech in a better way. Now, the second is regarding the speech value, the idea, the logic. So, content looked fresh. It was very it was very relatable. It was very real. So, I think no problem with that. I think it is fairly placed there. In terms of the physical, which is your body language, the appearance, when you were having that dialogue with your father, or you can do more of like some moments. There were some where you were saying, say, arts to science, those kind of movements were there. The hand movements were there, but you can coordinate more when are stressing on a particular word or anecdote. Then in terms of the flexibility, at some places you have tried to stress on certain words. Initially, it went really as per the plan because you started off pausing certain words, but there were certain in between lines which was in a hurry or which could have been paused throughout. So I mean, you can rehearse and you can see what all those lines were. Now, in terms of the correctness, the grammar, the pronunciation, fairly you've done all the. There was not nothing like a grammar mistake, but there were few words that you can work on finding a better word for it. Like folks, I think was one word which was very informal word, which I feel could have been replaced with a better word because sometimes people don't like being called as folks, right? In our corporates. So folk is something which you can replace. Undergarments is something which I felt a little uncomfortable while you were delivering. So something a replacement of that. Then you are a business person, right? So business person is also something which entrepreneur or I was an aspiring entrepreneur, right? Something like that. A business person is again, not very. Then missteps is also the word. You might choose to do put something better there. Overall, I think the way you have delivered is good. I don't find. I think only thing which you might work is towards the closure of it because when you are saying that you have followed your curiosity, which has led to XYZ, then XYZ could have been more stressed rather than ABC, right? So I think broadly, this was the overall evaluation. Otherwise, done a good job. No as such hiccups in terms of the structure, in terms of clarity of thought, in terms of passing across the message through the speech. So that was the overall evaluation. Over to you, Toastmaster Mayank.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anshuman. I think continuing the feedback that I gave you last week, this was like a triple hammer which was given. But I'm sure her inputs will be valuable and you will have some time to course correct it now.
Yes.
Back to you, General Evaluator.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Toastmaster Vidhu, for the comprehensive evaluation. I think that is something that will help me evolve my speech today for tomorrow. And that is, I think, what is the beauty of Toastmasters getting comprehensive evaluation. You join specifically to give me that, so thanks a lot for that. Means a lot. I've noted down all the words I have to replace. I, I will use relevant tools to replace them. And Toastmaster Meng, look forward to feedback after the meeting. But right now, Toastmaster Meng, over to you for feedback for Toastmaster Neethal.
All right, Toastmaster Needle, when you sat down for your interview, I was not thinking that you, I was thinking as if it's I am sitting there, and if such questions and the questions which Toastmaster Anshuman asked were very, very generic, and I think each one of us get in any and every interview. So, a good attempt. You successfully managed to survive 7 minutes in interview is great accomplishment, I will say. Some of the on your introduction part, you used. I've been I'm staying in Hyderabad. I was born in Hyderabad. I'm born and brought up in Hyderabad. I'm this in Hyderabad. This high in Hyderabad. I think that was too much of Hyderabad city reputation. You can avoid that, and you can say I've been born and brought up for the past 20 years in Hyderabad. Just one phrase. I have lived here. You don't have to unless you stayed once in Hyderabad in India and Hyderabad in Pakistan, right? Unless you've done that situation. Um, in fact, on this company side, I've been working. I was working with Tech Mahindra. At Tech Mahindra, so it's a previous to this, I was with Tech Mahindra where I did something, some projects. So you can avoid that reference. Can also avoid mentioning your client names, especially when you're at least doing on a demo or a public forum. Um, and to talk about a large US waterways multinational, that kind of a descriptor because not everybody is going to be well versed with every client. So you have to describe what client is. For example, if you would say, I was with Dainik Jagran or Amar Ujala. Now somebody may not understand what is how big is these papers, like, right? We'll say, oh, Times of India or the Sun Times large. But if you say, I was with the, uh, uh, I did a review for a newspaper, a Hindi newspaper, which has the largest circulation in Uttar Pradesh, right? Or a newspaper which has the largest, most read newspaper, because in UP, one newspaper is read by 5 people on average, right? So for every newspaper delivered, they say into 5 is our readership. So, you can do that. One thing in particular, two things in particular. One is, I see that you have a habit of rotating your chair. So avoid that, especially if you're doing a virtual interview. It's very, very distracting. And if it's an interview, just tie up your hair nicely and sit. That will be great. And very, very important thing, you interrupted the questionnaire or the interviewer. And when he said you're interrupting me, you still did not allow him to complete and you still went on. So you have to hear and let other person speak it out. Yeah, I think that's the large section of evaluations. But yeah, overall, if you enhance this, I'm sure you will get your prospective dream employment. Uh, it's always said dream employment, because no matter which employment you do, it's always going to be dream. All right, perfect. So thank you so much. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Mayank, and I think we are through with the core of the meeting. Overall, I think our meeting went quite well. In terms of guests, I think we could have engaged the guests better, because I felt they became more conscious, not being aware of the format. So maybe next time we can share the format with them and give them a context beforehand. Um, in terms of our structure and meeting, I think all of us individually took up our relevant roles. I think both the speech and the interview went quite well. Toastmaster Mayank engaged us and held the table topic session along with the Toastmaster Day session today. So thanks a lot for that. However, Toastmaster Mayank, we expect a lot from you and a lot more from you. Today, I think you took it as an engaging session, but we look forward to a fraud like presentation or more preparedness. However, like engaging everyone and on a Saturday morning is a difficult task, but you did that well. In terms of evaluation, Toastmasters Vidu, I think you followed the CRC approach. You gave quite a detailed and thorough feedback, and that will help me as a speaker improve. So thank you for joining and sharing that feedback. Same goes for you, Toastmaster Meng. You took up the evaluation role at quite the last moment, but with your wisdom and expertise, along with critical observation skills of Toastmaster Neetal's interview, I think Toastmaster Neetal will benefit a lot from your evaluation today. And I'd like to hand over the stage back to Toastmaster Neetal to close the proceedings.
Right. Thank you so much, General Evaluator. So I've talked about several instances here of the selflessness, but let me give you a few of the examples that I have encountered or done. Often, I remember an incident when I was riding a tube ride in London, and the moment we exited from there, we were boarded the escalator, and there was a gentleman, a very senior citizen, I will say, of that time, who was right up there, and he got in a hurry, and he was about to fall, and I held him, and so are you fine now? And my colleague was like, dude, these are the small um, tokens that you keep collecting in your bag, that no matter what happens to you, really nothing happens to you. I could have said, I'm sorry, that's not my business. I folded my hand and let that man, stumble on and regain or gain his grounding, as most people there had done. So that's one. I also take active part in several societies. One is like a resident welfare association, so where you have about 66 houses, and I'm like a treasurer, and who's also playing several roles there, in terms of what construction work to be done, what maintenance activities to be done. Often my wife and family will ask, why you want to spend so much of your time there? right? You're not gaining anything out of it, right? If there's going to be any change in, say, a land value of that area or project, it's going to be for the other 66 people, and some of them are holding 9 units, 10 units. They don't spend their time and energy. Why are you spending your time and energy? But when I do that activity, it's more of gaining an experience and understanding of how to deal with people, vendors, understanding land as a subject in India is a very, very complex term. There are so many government departments and regulations that you have to keep in mind. And that coordination with amongst very people where nobody is offended and you are able to do a work smoothly. Uh, Selflessness, of course, our parents were very big role models, especially the mothers, are very big role models in terms of selflessness, where they get up in the morning, prepare the meals for the kids so that the kids can have a great meal, right? They never said at their age, it's okay, go out and have, I'm tired, I'm not going to make anything. Unless they were really sick and unwell, they would have always prepared meal for us. I wish we had that dedication in our generation, or we as fathers could have done that. Um, I think, but overall, it was great that I spoke of something different in today's meeting. Otherwise, generally I talk about fraud, risk elements. It was quite a challenge for me as well to think of something different and talk and yeah, learn from this. So thank you so much. And with this, I hand over the stage back to our presiding officer to the meeting today.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mank. It was fun meeting today. We tried different things. We had different guests who joined us and left. And as Anshuman said, we will try to be more making sure the guests are engaged. And with this, we can close today's